Before we get started, I want to wish everyone a happy Aliens Day 2024. Man, we were delayed later than I thought. It's been a whole damn year. Sheesh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tagline. We are the CinemaConFanatics. My name's Robert Adams.
I'm Chris Adams.
And utmost apologies for the delay tonight. Just let's call it technical issues. That sounds good. Anyways, technical issues.
Technically, there were issues.
That's the wrong kind of issues. Anyways, how's everyone doing tonight as we are getting started a little bit later? Anyways, let's quickly get into this because we got a lot to talk about and a lot less time to do it in.
You know where to find us. You know what's going on. You know what we're doing.
You know that thing up there and this thing up here. Real quick, this thing up here, if you would like to, if you find that we are someone that you would like to support and you have the monetary means, please hop on the tier that is good for you. Tonight, after we are done doing this thing, we'll be hopping over to the Discord, the voice chat, and doing a little movie trivia hanging out. So hop on the Maverick tier if you would like to join us for that tonight. I've got a good quiz going for all of us, so it should be a fun time and hopefully not delayed. Anyways, I think that's it for Patreon. Upcoming shows, really the only thing upcoming I know of is Marquee Friday, May 26th. That's the Friday after The Little Mermaid comes out. Apparently tickets for Little Mermaid are on sale today. So if you would like to see that, make sure you pick up tickets and then come join us for the Marquee. We'll be tier ranking all the live action Disney remakes, I guess, however you want to refer to them, that will include Little Mermaid. So
I believe Peter Pan and Wendy comes out in like 2 days too.
Yeah. So Peter Pan and Wendy will also be on there. Otherwise, I think that's it for upcoming shows that I am aware of. I know that they're going to be dropping another Transformers trailer tomorrow. So we will try to get that reaction up. Otherwise, movies watched over this past week. Chris.
I got nothing. I've been rewatching Rebels and enjoying the hell out of it.
And also working on a 24-hour stream.
There's that too. I was doing that too as well. Also.
Yeah. Anyways, so I have watched, I think the only thing new that I've watched over this past week was I did the double feature of Sisu at like a press screening and then went to go see Evil Dead Rise. Both of which I enjoyed the hell out of. There's reviews for both of those up right now. They're spoiler free. Highly recommend go check those out because those were fun movies. Especially Evil Dead Rise just put a big smile on my face. That was exactly the movie I was hoping it would be. So and then Sisu, apparently Sisu comes out this week, so a lot of fun with that movie as well.
Yep.
Let me see what we got. Garth sitting here trying to look at my computer screen and the reflection in the Shawshank Redemption poster there. I don't think you're going to see anything, Garth. It's a big white blob. So, Chris would love Evil Dead Rise. Absolutely, 100%. That is definitely Chris's type of movie.
Nope.
Anyways, let's get started with some movie news.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is what's happening in your world tonight.
We apologize for the interruption.
Back to you.
All right, we got some stuff to cover in the box office real quick. I forgot what our predictions were last week that we made. I need to write those down or something. I know that we predicted something about like maybe Super Mario Brothers still being number one.
Mario would be number one with like Evil Dead Rise probably really close behind it.
Yeah, the Evil Dead Rise would not surpass Mario at all.
But I was still thinking that Evil Dead would pull in somewhere probably like 40 to 50 million.
Well, so half of these predictions that we just said right here are true. Super Mario Brothers is still number one with another $59.9 million, like a 35% drop off from week number 2 to week number 3. So 3 weeks in a row, Mario is the number one movie in the box office. Domestically, sitting at about $436 million total. Let me look at the worldwide because there's some big news there. Worldwide, this is currently saying it's 892 million, but we're also several days from the weekend number. So that being said, it is a guarantee that Super Mario Brothers has surpassed the $900 million mark, well on its way to $1 billion worldwide in the box office. What?
Yeah.
Wow. Look, a lot of people talking about how that movie's plot is very thin. The story is very weak. Sometimes that's just the movie you want, That's just the kind of movie you want, something you can kick back and just enjoy. It's just fun. You can turn your brain off. There are movies that it is imperative you have your brain on. You watch them, you enjoy them that way, perfectly fine.
Bo is afraid.
Okay, so we'll get to that, but even if you have your brain on for that, I think you're still lost. And then there are movies that are like the Super Mario Brothers movie where you can just turn your brain off and who cares? It doesn't hurt anybody. It's fine. Not every piece of art, not every movie needs to be some kind of intellectual think piece that's teaching you something about life. It doesn't need to be that way. So there you go. Almost 900 million on its way to 1 billion. Let's go, Mario. Let's go.
But can a Super Mario Brothers movie teach you something about life? Was there like any kind of like learning about friendship or how to work well with your brother?
No, what there was is that you definitely need to take steroids in order to win fights. Power-ups, baby!
Mushrooms.
Yep.
You just eat mushrooms or take the leaves from the plants and those will allow you to do anything.
Fly. Take a little brown leaf and you can fly.
Jared in the chat with the hubba bubba bubblegum eggs. Hubba bubba bubblegum eggs.
I don't know what that means. Anyway, Super Mario Bros. Movie on its way to 1 billion. Don't know why they haven't announced a sequel yet. I think that's, again, my prediction is it's still the Nintendo of it all. They don't know that, now's a good time to announce a sequel.
They don't know that they're making money hand over fist. Sheesh. You don't know what
that means either.
Yeah. Okay.
So number 2 in the box office. Guess what? Evil Dead Rise.
Yes.
However, your $40 to $50 million mark is off a little bit. More like $24.5 million.
It was like what? It was how much?
It's $24.5 million in the box office.
Really, that low?
That low, which I think is actually pretty decent for a I'm not saying that Evil Dead isn't a major horror franchise. It is, but not like a commercially major horror franchise. Say like a Scream or a Halloween, something where there's like a prominent figurehead of that franchise.
There's a prominent figure. Yeah.
Was he in it?
For the most part, the first one was an indie movie. The second movie was still kind of indie with a little bit of a studio backing. The third movie had nothing really to do with the previous two.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one didn't come out till like 20 years later. Now here's another one, another 10 years later. So
I expect movies like Child's Play, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, any movie that has like a major, or Halloween, like has a majorly known, presence, a majorly known figurehead to it. I expect those movies to make some money because those are like pop culture icons to them. Evil Dead Rise doesn't have the same pop culture iconicism to it that those movies do. So,
yeah, especially because Ash ain't in it.
And Ash ain't in it.
Well, his voice is in it, but
he boomsticked somewhere else. I don't know. I don't watch these movies. Anyway, number 3 is The Covenant. What is this movie? Oh yeah, this is the Jake Gyllenhaal. That's the Guy Ritchie, Jake Gyllenhaal war movie. I heard it's good. I guess maybe I heard it's good from people who have been in the military / been in war, but that made about 6.3 million. So there you go. John Wick Chapter 4 coming in at number 4 spot. Number 5, we've got Dungeons and Dragons. Number 6, Air. Number 7, The Pope's Exorcist. Number 8, Renfield, which I think we were thinking Renfield might hang tight for a little bit on word of mouth potentially, but it dropped. It dropped a whole 4 spots. And then we've got Beau is Afraid, which I believe is that still limited?
No, that one should be as wide as it's gonna get.
Yeah. So it was limited at 15. It opened wide then at the number 9 spot. So it is probably not going to hang out in the top 10 next week. And then number 10 is Suzume. So
one of the things, like, for me as someone who also likes watching movie content, I will say probably out of all the people, all the videos, YouTubers who I watch reviews from, probably the people that I think are pretty aligned with my tastes on how I think of a movie that I tend to agree with would be somewhere between like Sean Chandler and Dan Murrell.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sean Chandler, I know recently saw Beau is Afraid, and then did like kind of like somewhat of a review of it. And based just off his review, I'm like, yeah, this is not going to be the movie for me. I have really bad ADHD, and that's one of these lofty movies that, like, even if you were sitting here at home watching it with the ability to pause the movie, go to the bathroom, get a drink, kind of think things over, or pull up Wikipedia and follow the plot summary while you're watching the movie just to kind of help keep you focused, I still would probably get lost at that.
Yeah, and like some of the stuff that I've heard about it, I'm very disinterested in that particular film.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'll watch it when it's available to watch at home.
You're going to try to watch it? I'm
going to try to watch it just because, like, I appreciate Hereditary. Not a huge fan of that movie. I love Midsommar. So, like, Ari Aster, I think, has got a good career in front of him. This movie, though,
not helping.
A little, yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of people are saying this is the kind of a career killer movie for him, which, you know, I guess that remains to be seen. I don't know if I would be so bold as to use those kinds of words right now. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Anyways, that's your top 10. Looking fairly decent. Some good movies in there. To bust into the regular news, we had CinemaCon happened this. Is it still going on?
Yeah,
it's still going on. CinemaCon's still going on.
Tomorrow's the last day. It's Universal's presentation tomorrow.
Ooh, so we don't have the Universal news. I'm sure they're going to talk about Fast and Furious.
They'll talk about Fast and Furious and Transformers.
Yeah. But one of the studios that did have something to show, and we'll talk more about some of their stuff a little bit later, was WB.
But one movie in particular
that WB is showing off at CinemaCon and did show off at CinemaCon.
I literally go nowhere without them.
Barbie.
Have you ever noticed how many like feet shots or things having to do with feet are in that, or like specifically in your clip? I know that they came from the trailers, but you ever notice like how much feet stuff is in there? Like you could have sworn this was probably directed by Tarantino. There's a close-up of her feet and like him holding up the rollerblades, and then we see what's-her-face collapse with looking past some feet. There's just a whole lot of feet shots in that.
Gonna be honest, didn't notice.
Yeah, watch it when you play it again. There's a lot of feet shots.
No, I'm okay. So Barbie took a main stage at CinemaCon. What was it? It was like the other day, yesterday, something like that. And let me just there's stop it. I didn't notice. My point is, I don't care about feet. So this is what you're learning during Barbie Watch on the tagline this week. Chris does not give a flying flip about feet. They're just a random ass body part.
Who's the comedian? Is like, you can't be proud of nothing and know you have feet. I think it was Gallagher. I think that was one of his jokes. Like, feet's one of the dumbest looking. Anyways.
So let me just rehash, because there's a bunch of stuff that happened on stage here. So let me just rehash kind of like some of the stuff. I get an article from Deadline and from Yahoo, 2 different articles, one of which highlights something that I didn't know about the movie that I think we're all going to find very interesting here. But this first article, talking about they're hitting the stage, and Greta Gerwig, Margot Robbie hitting the stage with Ryan Gosling as well. And the whole thing with Ryan Gosling is that he did not know that he was going to be able to pull off Ken. And I don't know if you guys have heard this quote, but
you rephrase that.
Well, to be fair,
he does have molded underwear, so you can't really.
You can't pull off. Anyway, so Gosling said, "I have to be honest. I only knew Ken from afar. I didn't know him from within. I didn't know my Kenergy." He added that when he stepped on the set, "I finally think I know what Dorothy felt like." So we got another Wizard of Oz connection from my point last week. But yeah, apparently Ryan Gosling did not realize that he had the kin within. I feel this has like strong like Matt Lillard as Shaggy vibes, like the whole Shaggy just possessed me. The spirit of Shaggy just possessed me, and I became Shaggy.
I mean, all joking aside, Matthew Lillard is the live action Shaggy.
He did a good job.
Absolutely, 100%.
Margot Robbie called the set a dopamine hit, and Gosling also said, unfortunately, Ken has no sense of humor, and he's deadly serious, so he's going to be deadpan the entire movie, and I think that is pitch perfect, and I love it. I'm ready for it. And if you've seen The Nice Guys, you know it's going to be such a great performance from him. Because I feel like he's pretty deadpan in Nice Guys. So, let's see what else here. There's a whole little bit so they showed a clip. I really don't want to like spoil all the stuff that's in the clip. I think if you want to really read about it, you can. But they did dive a little bit more into what the movie is about and kind of where it's going. And it does involve Barbie leaving Barbie land and going into the real world, learning about the real world and what that entails. And then all of her and Ken's misadventures once they get to the real world, and how the two of them, the way they are, act and react with how the real world is. It's going to be hilarious. Also, it sounds like there is a bit where the Mattel president, played by Will Ferrell, is very not too thrilled with the idea of Barbie traveling to the real world. So, is he antagonistic? I don't know. Maybe
he's Lord Business. So
he's Lord Business. Yeah. So that being said, they got down to a final thing here where it says the tagline for the movie is, "If you love Barbie, if you hate Barbie, this movie is for you." And my God, I don't know if there's a better tagline for this movie, because that just represents absolutely everything I feel about this movie. If you love it, if you hate it, who cares? The movie's for you.
Yeah. Thinking real quick. So Barbie is a Mattel brand.
Mm-hmm.
Did Mattel own or have anything to do with Lego, or has Lego just always been its own brand?
I think Lego is its own thing. I think Lego is its own thing.
Yeah. So what I'm wondering is, could there be some like weird, strange world possibility? Especially with the fact that both Lego and Barbie are both being made by Warner Brothers. Is there a possibility that he actually could be Lord Business?
Probably not. Probably not, because I don't think anyone involved with the Lego movies is involved with this movie at all. Other than the studio. Is it Warner Brothers who did the Lego movie?
Yeah, because they did. They had all the DC characters.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, last little bit of Barbie news here, and this is the piece that I'm actually kind of very interested in. Is that apparently we didn't get a character poster of this man, but John Cena is in the Barbie movie. He was shown in the clip that the crowd got, and apparently he is Mattel's King Ocean Ken doll. So he is a merman.
That's fantastic.
He is a merman along with Dua Lipa's mermaid, Merman Ken. And my God, I'm just so excited for this movie.
Yeah, that sounds cool. But I mean, much like you were saying, we didn't see a character poster. You're probably not going to see his version of Mermaid Ken in the movie either.
Yeah, because it's John Cena. I get it. Yeah, it's merman. Anyway, a lot of fun stuff with Barbie. That's kind of the succinct wrap up of what Barbie did at CinemaCon. I'm just thrilled. I'm just excited. Where's this movie? Wait, it's not till the end of July. We're in April still. May, June, almost 3 months left. Good Lord.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what other movie am I like super hyped up for now that Evil Dead has passed. I am really anxious for Guardians Volume 3.
True.
And Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
But I think Barbie really is, especially because we've already had a Guardians 1 and 2. We've already had Into the Spider-Verse. If I really need a fix on those, I can just go watch one of the previous movies real quick, and I'll be fine until the movie comes out. Not bad at all. But
yeah. We haven't had a Barbie movie.
Yeah, and I'm eager to see that. Well, okay. There's like the CGI movies for kids.
It would take like 30 plus weirdly animated direct to video.
Today, Barbie's gonna be a vet. Yay!
Barbie taking on Anna and the King. Barbie taking on.
Oh, she did do that, didn't she? That's a weird one.
What was the other one? Was it Mr. Darcy or whatever?
Oh, Pride and Prejudice.
Barbie taking on
Pride and Prejudice.
I don't know. I'm just riffing now at this point. Hey, run the thing again.
I literally go nowhere without them.
There are a few feet in that.
Yeah, the feet are definitely present in there.
Yeah, there's presence of foot.
There's presence of foot.
There's presence of foot in that bit there.
Before we get into the main CinemaCon topics, so we've had WB, Sony, and Disney have all released stuff over the past couple of days. Couple like things that are like outside of CinemaCon I want to touch upon real quick. Again, as we said at the very beginning of the show, happy Alien Day. Today is April 20th. For those of you who may not be familiar with the connection in the absolutely fantastic movie Aliens, which my brother has seen, and this is his first 426 after seeing it. So now he is fully aware of what this means.
And today has been just like any other 426 to me.
Yeah. Yeah, April 26th, not April 20. Okay. So, yeah, the colony that they go to, or the planet, I believe, that they go to in Aliens is referred to as LV-426, which is why 426, we celebrate Alien Day. In celebration of that.
Such a stretch.
Yeah.
It's not a date.
Well, I mean, like, what was it? Yesterday is the perfect date from Miss Congeniality.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that when they asked, I forgot which contestant it was.
Name the perfect date. It's not too rainy. It's kind of, the weather's nice. The climate's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So in celebration of Alien Day, Sigourney Weaver made the announcement that she is officially done playing Ellen Ripley.
Wow. What a celebration. What an absolute celebration for Alien Day. Hey.
Yeah. Wow. She did say that she had hopes. There was a movie that was in the process of being made by Neil Blomkamp, and she was really anxious for that. The story of that one, if I remember correctly, was supposed to take place after Aliens and completely erase anything that happened in Alien 3, Resurrection, and so on and so forth.
Love it when they do that.
Yeah, so this movie was supposed to take place with Ripley Hicks, and Newt still alive. Would have loved to have seen that because it sounded like it was going to be phenomenal, but it was never made, and that would have been the last time that anyone would have gotten to see her play Ripley. But alas, that didn't happen. So,
especially by Neil Blomkamp, because he would have been such a great director for that.
Yeah. After what he did with was it District 9 was good. Chappie actually was pretty decent too. It was silly. It was very silly, but I mean, it was a fun movie to watch.
Chappie exists, and I'll probably never watch it again.
But yeah, I would have loved to have seen that. So unfortunately, that means her final role as Ellen Ripley technically is Alien Resurrection, 1997's Alien Resurrection, directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, who also directed Amélie. So,
there you go.
That is a weird connection there. Like, I think it was like a couple of weeks everyone was putting on Twitter like, hey, this director also directed this, and showing like just a weird connection between like one movie they've done and another movie they've done. Like everyone was doing Peter Jackson for Dead Alive, Brain Dead, whatever you want to call it. And then also Lord of the Rings, which is a weird comparison as well. But yeah. Alien Resurrection and Amélie.
So on this, I'm curious if there's been anyone on Twitter, there probably has been, saying that Sigourney Weaver's done. Nah, she'll come back if the bag is right. She'll come back if there's enough money in it for her. And I think when you get to be Sigourney Weaver's age and you make a statement like, nah, I'm done playing that character, I feel like that's pretty definitive. I feel like it doesn't matter the money. She doesn't care about the money. She just doesn't want to play that character anymore. So I think that, yeah, in that regard, if we get anything with the Ripley in the future, it would be her children.
Yeah, potentially. Like Aliens had a deleted scene where we found out that Ripley's daughter died, and there may have been this whole other storyline with Ripley's daughter interacting with the aliens, the xenomorphs as well. So the problem with this is we live in a society. We live in a world where where people, like, actors say these things and then they just throw it out the window and say F it. For example, Hugh Jackman is never playing Wolverine again unless Ryan Reynolds convinces him and he's like, okay, fine. So
that's why I made a statement like, in this situation, I think Sigourney Weaver, a little bit older than Hugh Jackman. I believe that she's at the position now where she can make a statement like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And you could probably take it to heart that she means it.
Possibly. But yeah, I agree. I think it really does depend on, maybe the money. Money may have something to do with it. Money doesn't make the entire world go round. But like, I understand Hugh Jackman is returning as Wolverine because of the story. Mm-hmm. And the passion behind it. I think he's also been on record saying that if they were to put Wolverine into the MCU and have Wolverine fighting alongside the Avengers and they wanted to get him to play Wolverine still, he would do it in a heartbeat. So
at the same time, though, you do have to look at the situation where, specifically Hugh Jackman, he is getting too old to do another decade's worth of Wolverine action. Like he's aging out of the role, which is weird.
Wolverine's not supposed to age,
which is weird. Wolverine should be a young man for a long time, but whatever. Anyway, speaking of Marvel,
this one I don't know exactly where this came from. I'm basically just regurgitating what I saw a bunch of people talking about on Twitter. I haven't had time to fully research this myself, so I apologize if this is all wildly incorrect. But I do think it's fun to talk about.
Is this a rumor, or are we just talking about like speculation? And
apparently, I don't know any more details than what I'm about to say. Apparently, Antonio Banderas has been offered the role of Galactus. That's it. That's all I know. So I'm just going to take that one little phrase and then let's talk about that.
Right. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Hello, my friend. I am the devourer of worlds. Where is my herald?
Oh, Herald, come to me.
Hello, Master. I have a new planet for you. It is full of life. People that cannot decide on simple political things, that allow politics to influence their everyday of lives, and they can't have opinions of their own. They are ripe for destruction. And then you get Galactus doing the... Yeah, I actually, now here, joking aside, I actually kind of like the idea of Antonio Banderas playing Galactus.
I don't know that I do.
So I think it's one of those that it really depends on how they make him look. For example, it's I ask anyone who's watching, Chris, you also try this. Imagine if you are familiar with the character of Apocalypse outside of the stupid movie. Forget the stupid movie for a second. Just picture Apocalypse, whether it's from a cartoon, one of the cartoons, or the comics, if you're familiar with the character from the comics.
The X-Men villain.
Yes. And then imagine that Apocalypse being played by Oscar Isaac.
I could see it, yeah.
Yeah. Oscar Isaac, fantastic choice. But they made him look like crap. He looked like a stupid Power Rangers villain. Now, granted, people used to say that about the Green Goblin in the original Spider-Man movie as well, but I actually still really like that Green Goblin look. In fact, I've got the Hot Toys coming, so...
It made sense for Green Goblin to have a power suit, so...
Yeah, but the Oscar Isaac Apocalypse just did not look good.
But Antonio Banderas as Galactus just doesn't work in my mind. For instance, again... Homeboy's got a thick accent. Has he ever done a role where he's tried to hide his accent in any way? Has that ever happened? I don't remember. Yes.
We get it. The last name is Harold. That's actually great. It actually took me a second.
Anyway, has he ever tried to hide his accent in any role ever? I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, I don't know if he does or if he can or if he cares to. I don't, for me, it's kind of weird that Galactus has a thick Spanish accent.
Yeah, unless he is actually able to hide that, yeah, that would probably be the only thing against him. Otherwise, I think he has the look. He can have a dark, brooding, imposing look to him.
Anybody has the look. They just need a mouth because it's all the rest is hidden in a giant purple headdress.
Yeah, maybe. I like the idea. I seriously doubt we're going to get Galactus looking exactly like he does in the comics. We're probably not going to get the big, silly purple headdress. Although, I don't know. They did pretty comic book accurate with the Celestials.
They're getting, yeah, with a lot of the cosmic stuff, Eternity and the Celestials, they're doing pretty 1-to-1 almost.
Yeah. Eternity looked good.
Maybe some more realistic textures here and there. Eternity looked exactly like it was ripped out of the comic book.
Yeah. So far, we've gotten like a couple of statues of the Living Tribunal, and that looks exactly like the comic version as well. So, yeah, they may still go for it
at this point, especially because they did Ego, and you got that brief shot of the planet with a face on it, like,
which that was accurate looking too. Yeah,
I fully expect Galactus, maybe not to look 100% like he does in the comics, but to have the same design of some sort, maybe some more realistic cosmic looking textures and whatnot. But
I'm willing to bet I'm still, until something is actually officially confirmed, I'm still willing to bet the Galactus is probably going to be entirely CGI, kind of like what they did to Juggernaut in Deadpool 2. They didn't actually have an actor. It was just a CGI character, which worked in Deadpool 2. I think that version of Juggernaut fit perfectly. Of course, then I think Juggernaut was voiced by Ryan Reynolds. So they'll get probably some kind of voice actor to, like an actual celebrity to voice Galactus, but still keep him CGI. I'm thinking like a voice like like Lawrence Fishburne would be a great voice for Galactus. Problem is, they're not going to get Lawrence Fishburne to play Galactus.
I mean, they could, but
I doubt it. Not mainly because he was the voice of the Silver Surfer, which I wasn't a big fan of him as the Silver Surfer. I think Silver Surfer looked good, but I was not a Lawrence Fishburne fan.
I don't know. I think voice-wise he was fine. Yeah, I think that's what we're looking at for sure. Is he's pretty much going to be a voice role. So whoever they get, listen, I would be 100% down.
Yep, he'll sound like Lex Luthor, but I don't care. That's a good voice.
No, I want Galactus to bust in here and be like, Silver Surfer, where's me money?
Where's me planets?
Where's me planets?
Anyways, that would be funny. Let's get into the CinemaCon stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that was shown at CinemaCon that we really just have to speculate on since we can't see it ourselves. So some of this I'm just going to kind of like breeze through. They did show footage of from Aquaman for WB, starting off with WB. They showed footage from Aquaman, Blue Beetle, Dune 2, and The Color Purple. Aquaman did show off footage that proved that Amber Heard is still going to be in the movie. It is reported that they've tried removing her, it seems like, but they just could not remove her from one scene where she's like in the background, and she's just going to be there, and we're all just going to have to live with it.
I have a feeling it's not going to matter much longer anyway.
Yeah. And again, I've seen when that was announced, I saw like a lot of people online like, okay, but what about Ezra Miller or Jonathan Majors and stuff? Like,
would everybody just sit down and just hold your horses for a minute? Everyone's done. Everyone's done, probably.
I was like, prove to me that you don't watch the tagline without saying you don't watch the tagline. We covered this like last week saying that these movies were already filmed, the TV shows or whatnot. They're very likely going to release them, and then that's it. For Ezra Miller specifically, I haven't heard of them being casted in anything else. So very likely this is it for them. And once Flash comes out, Ezra Miller is going to fade into the sunset. Same with Amber Heard, and depending on what exactly still continues to happen with Jonathan Majors, very likely that would probably also be the circumstance. After Loki season 2 comes out, we will probably see Jonathan Majors parting ways with Marvel.
And then everybody will get recasted in some other version, some other form, and everybody else will just be able to sit back and you'll be like, if you just chilled for a minute, if you just waited and didn't say anything, you would have realized this was what was going to happen, and you're all a bunch of silly ninnies.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's not like you just snap your fingers and all of a sudden, like, the movie is magically edited and changed and rewritten. Yeah, it takes time, effort, and sometimes the studios just don't want to do that. Sometimes you just have to live with the fact that you don't like this person anymore, and they're still going to be in the movie. Suck it up, watch the movie to support everyone else who was in the movie or everyone else who's made the movie, and then move on. Sorry, anyway, I was a soapbox for a second.
Yeah, real quick before we move on from there. Oh man, I hope my Harold finds me a planet to eat. Oh, jeez. I need a planet to eat. I'm so hungry.
Welcome to the Bobcat Goldthwait impression hour here at CinemaFanatics. We are big fans of randomly dropping a Bobcat Goldthwait impression.
I know we moved on to other news, but I saw Garth made that comment and I just had to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I was going to call it out myself if you didn't. So, I mean, yeah, you can't help but stop.
Nerd's also right.
Or Nerd's got a good point too. Or just don't watch it and move on if that's your choice too. Absolutely.
Watch it and move on, or don't watch it and move on.
That's really the only two options.
Either way, we're all moving on.
Anyways, one of the other, so they did show off footage from Blue Beetle, which showed off the villain, and I can't remember what the villain's name is, but it's no one I've really heard of. Here's the thing: I'm a big comic book nerd. I will flaunt comic book knowledge at any given time when pressed, or just simply in the vicinity of someone having a conversation about comic books. I really don't know anything about Blue Beetle. I know this one is it Robbie Reyes, or is that Ghost Rider?
That's Ghost Rider.
I think that was Ghost Rider, yeah. I forgot who the name of this one.
Jaime.
Yeah. I know the original one, or one of the original ones, was Ted Kord. That's about all I know of Blue Beetle. So yeah, I don't know who the villain is, and this is going to be a lot of fun because I don't know anything about this character.
Susan Sarandon? Is she a villain?
I think she's one of the villains.
She's antagonistic. Anyway.
Yeah, Ted Kord was the second. I knew there was like a couple of other Blue Beetles before, but
the Blue Beetles. Anyway, we'll see. Interested in seeing some footage from this too.
Yeah. Dune 2. So they showed a clip, like I guess a reel showing various clips from Dune 2. Not an official trailer yet, but they did show a clip that showed off what's his name? Elvis.
Oh, yeah. Austin Butler.
It did show off Austin Butler as Fedia. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Was that Sting's role?
That was Sting's role in the 1984 David Lynch Dune.
I'm going to be watching Dune 1 again before we go see this, just to refresh. But I heard this one, from what they were saying, is a lot more action packed. It's a lot more of like an action-y war type movie, and on board. I'm there.
Yeah. Garth's got it down. Focused on the only key things that matters: the leather bikini. Yeah, very likely, especially given Austin Butler's current popularity. They'll probably have him in the leather bikini. So, the other thing, so they showed some footage from Color Purple. I think it was introduced by Oprah Winfrey. So, nice touch on there. I don't know anything else about like what the footage shown was. They did show also footage for Wonka.
Ooh.
Which this I'm interested in, because so far all we've seen is Timothy Chalamet in sort of like a Willy Wonka costume, like a behind the scenes photo, and that's roughly about it. Nothing else. Apparently one of the things they did show was Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa, complete with orange face, green hair, and whatnot. And I'm like, I hope he's singing. I want to hear him sing in this.
I got to be honest, I was not like really sold on the movie. I was like, okay, Wonka origin story, I guess, cool. Now I am. Now I'm sold. I want to see it. I want to see it right now.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant is Oompa Loompa? Yes, you got me. I'm there.
I saw this posted on Twitter also. Someone was posting a picture. It's just a blue poster with the words "the color purple." And everyone's like, that's a little strange.
You know what else is weird? Is that I heard that the next Blue Beetle poster is purple.
Yeah, probably.
Crazy.
I mean, the Blue Beetle color scheme is roughly the same color scheme that I have on the wall behind me. We got this like fluorescent pinkish purple to like blue. So, I mean,
it's that neon synthwave look.
Yeah, which I love. So, but yeah, I'm down for Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa. Like, give it to me now. I want to see this. And then speaking of The Flash, apparently we got a new trailer. There's a reaction up. We got a reaction up yesterday, I believe, for that. And I guess they went ahead and premiered the movie at CinemaCon, like completely like over a month early. So we've got reviews that are coming in already. I've seen some reviews from like official like critics that are saying it's really good. A lot of reviews I'm seeing, people are saying that this is the best DC comic book movie since like the 1978 Superman, which I'm going to take with a grain of salt. I mean,
yeah,
very subjective.
That the Dark Knight says hi. Also, if we're talking about like the best movie in the DCEU, low bar.
Yeah,
not too hard to clear that.
Yeah, so yeah, no, like Jeff Snyder apparently wasn't too thrilled with it.
Even he said he liked the movie. He just takes issues with certain directions that it goes in and certain ways it presents its stuff. So, you know, he's giving a fair mind to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, apparently a lot of people really like The Flash, which, you know, that is exactly the news that we heard about test screenings and stuff before, where people have said that The Flash is a fantastic movie. And it's just why we also knew that unlike Batgirl, WB wasn't prepared to just drop Flash completely and not produce the movie at all. They had test screenings saying it was good, so they wanted to still move forward with it and put it out there. regardless of the Ezra Miller of it all and what happens post this movie. So,
yeah. And so moving on to the next day, we had Sony giving a presentation. First big major news out of the Sony camp was that Craven is going to be rated R. It is essentially the first, it's going to come out before Deadpool 3, so it will technically be the first MCU-like movie that's rated R.
No. I'm not claiming. I'm standing in the gap for MCU, and I'm not claiming that.
Yeah,
I'm not claiming that one. Nope. Pass.
But yeah, apparently there's shots of Craven like ripping, I guess, people apart.
Why?
Or animals or whatever. It's a very like animalistic, using my hands, jungle nature hunter type of. I'm guessing that's a lot like in comparisons to Predator.
Guys, we know that Craven.
Predator.
Guys, we know Craven is Sony, just like Venom. Venom appeared in an MCU thing. They're MCU adjacent. We got it. Yeah, I don't care about Craven. I don't care about Craven.
Yeah, I'm still like, I'm not on board with this or whatever they're doing for Madam Web. Just I want it to stop. Just let's go back and focus on just keeping Spider-Man within Spider-Man's world within the MCU. Craven does not need his own movie. I've been on record saying this multiple times. Ant-Man did not need his own movie. It is a good movie. I still don't necessarily believe he needed to have his own movie. It is a fun movie, though. I have rewatched it plenty of times. I enjoy it. Just story-wise, he didn't need it. Craven does not need his own movie. Madam Web does not need his own movie. Venom, I can understand Venom getting his own movie. That makes sense. But yeah, the rest of that...
Morbius doesn't need his own movie.
Morbius doesn't need his own movie, yeah.
Like, not honestly, like, I don't care about any of these characters in existence outside of their relation to Spider-Man. Yeah. That's it.
One of the other things that they did also show with whatever footage they had for Craven to show off is it revealed that Alessandro Nivola is playing the Rhino. Like, they actually apparently they showed footage of like someone actually like growing or mutating rhino scales on them.
Okay, that's already in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I was like, why can't we just do exactly what was in the comic books? In the comic books, the Rhino was just a big enforcer guy in a impenetrable suit that, if I remember correctly, he really couldn't take it off. So let's explore him having bathroom issues in this movie. Why can't we do that? We got Paul Giamatti in some stupid mech suit at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was terrible. And now we've got someone who's actually mutating into a rhino. Just put a big muscle guy in a suit. That's all you have to do.
It can be an armored suit.
Yeah.
So make it a suit. Like I had a figure at one point of the Rhino. He had like big metal shoulder pads. He had like a durable skin suit. Like knee pads, he had like armor in different places, and giant horn. Like it looked good. I'm like, that could translate into a movie. You could make that work. I don't know, man.
They just keep missing the bar.
I'm just not the idea. There's an idea of a story here that is in a bubble. In a vacuum, in a bubble, could be an interesting story. But the fact that it is Craven, they put the Craven name on there and immediately relating it to a specific character rather than it just being its own original story means I can't care. Like, if it was just its own original story not related to this character, then cool. But I just don't.
Vernon, I'm going to need you to direct all important questions over to twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP.
I don't know what that
is. What's for dinner? Anyways, yeah, just not a big fan of this idea with the Rhino. So, That apparently there's also Ridley Scott is making a Napoleon movie, which I can't remember if I actually knew this or not. But they did screen some footage. Apparently it stars Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon, which first thing right off the bat, I feel like there's a bit of a size issue here.
They did it with Hobbits.
Yeah.
They did
So
it with
I don't know
Hobbits.
if they're making him look smaller because Napoleon's not a tall Joaquin Phoenix sized man. He was a little shorter. That's where the whole Napoleon complex comes from. So otherwise, yeah, I do like the idea of a Napoleon movie done by Ridley Scott. I think that could work very well.
Listen, Napoleon was not really short. That's a myth. Joaquin Phoenix is short. Listen, all the corrections for you. He wasn't short, but also Joaquin Phoenix is. So if that's the case, if both those things are true, then we've still got a problem with Joaquin Phoenix playing Napoleon. So I don't know what we're doing here.
Is he short? I thought he was tall. He looks like he's tall. He's 5'8".
I don't know.
So he's 5'8". How tall was Napoleon? Welcome to the Tagline, where we also do historical facts. He was 5'6". Okay, so I mean, it's close enough. Actually, I will retract what I was initially talking about. A difference of like 2 inches, not really going to convey that much in a movie.
5'6" is below average for a male, for a male height.
Yeah. Jeremy, does height really matter? Not really. As someone who's 6 feet tall, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, if Napoleon was 7 feet, I think that might throw people off a little bit.
That would be a little strange. Yeah.
Napoleon, as played by Andre the Giant.
Yeah. Now I'm eager to see some footage from this. I want to see how his portrayal is going to be, because it's going to be very hard to beat the performance of the actor who played Napoleon in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I'm sorry, that is my gold standard for Napoleon. Like he even beats out the guy who played Napoleon in The Count of Monte Cristo. So
my gold standard for Napoleon is an ice cream sandwich that has vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate ice cream in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Neapolitan. Damn it.
Yeah. Fun fact. Did you know that the actor who played Napoleon in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was also the man who sat in his bathtub watching The Truman Show?
I did know that. Yes.
Yeah. It's so much fun. Will this movie have water slides, or will it have him eating the Ziggy pig?
Hey, what's this next piece of news?
Next piece of news. Gran Turismo trailer was screened. Don't know anything else about that other than it has. Was that a reaction?
That's all my thoughts. I hope they were succinct enough for all of you.
It has what's his face, Hopper.
Oh yeah. Okay, well now I'm interested.
What's his name?
David Harbour.
David Harbour. Yeah. Good thing we're not playing movie trivia here.
This is why we would be a good team, because I can answer all the questions and he can just sit there and look pretty.
Well, no, I know the answer. It's just the recall sometimes is slipping. Also, I'm not like in a competitive movie trivia mode right now, so
take the compliment and run. Jeez.
Thank you for calling me pretty.
God.
It's better than YouTube comments trying to call me a fat guy, which is weird, but whatever.
Anyway.
I'm pleasantly husky.
Pleasantly plump.
Anyways, so I'm eager to I hate the fact that this is all we get from like CinemaCon is like, whoa, they showed the trailer. Like, I want to see the trailer too.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah. Like, what am I? I'm just going to sit here and go, well, they saw a trailer. Moving on to the next piece.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next piece, there was footage shown of the cast of Ghostbusters Afterlife are officially in New York, back at the old firehouse that was used in the first two Ghostbusters movie. Technically, I think it was also used in the 2016 Ghostbusters.
There's at least credit. Well, no, it was actually in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So they are returning back to the classic firehouse. So we're getting a new Ghostbusters story, presumably back in New York, which is what I think that was one of my takeaways from Ghostbusters Afterlife that I didn't like, is they took it away from the city. Which is weird, given how much I just said I really liked Evil Dead Rise, where they took it out of the cabin in the woods. And I think that Evil Dead Rise pulled off the new location setting brilliantly, perfectly, whatever.
Word.
This one, Ghostbusters Afterlife, I did not like them out in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. So
That's just because Oklahoma.
it's maybe just because it's Oklahoma. But
no, this sounds great. It already sounds great to me. I mean, I'm a fan of the city of New York, and I'm always game to see more of it in a movie.
yeah,
I don't know what else you want me to. I mean, church screen footage. Footage. We don't get to see the footage. It's just your point that you just made. I want to see the footage. Why you show me the footage?
Yeah. And then lastly from Sony, they did announce that Bad Boys 4 has actually already been shooting for the past 4 weeks. I didn't know that they had moved that fast on it. I know they had announced that they were doing Bad Boys 4, but I didn't know it was already like this far into production.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good because previously, like before Bad Boys for Life came out, there were multiple talks of them trying to get Bad Boys 3 made, and it just never happened. And that was one of those, like, yeah, I'll believe it when they actually start filming it. Now they've actually moved forward with saying, yes, we're going to make a Bad Boys 4, and it's already in production. I was like, okay, so this actually is happening. So.
I like that when they made the announcement, they did this bit like, oh, we've already used For Life for the third one's title. Ah, damn.
Whoops. Whoopsies.
No, I mean, shooting for 4 weeks, so they've already been shooting for a month, so they probably got like another month and a half, 2 months left of shooting potentially. Usually movies I think are around 3, maybe 3 to 4 months or so. In which case, I don't think they've announced any kind of like release date or anything, but at this point I'm expecting this one probably spring next year, maybe early summer if they want to actually specifically aim for a summer release date. So,
well, here's the thing to keep in mind. The last Bad Boys movie they released, I believe it was in February, and that was the highest grossing movie of 2020.
That's true.
It was right before the whole world shut down. So, fingers crossed they can release a Bad Boys movie without destroying the planet.
Yeah.
I don't think they're actually related, but just in case.
I that's crazy. Wow. I forgot that was in 2020. And it's been some time already. Jeez. It's been some time. I expect so basically, what I'm expecting is early next year, maybe at the latest beginning of summer, I think.
Mm-hmm. And then moving on to today. Today was Disney's turn to present at CinemaCon. Not very much actually coming from Disney, but I believe that's okay because they have 5 conventions of their own that they do throughout the year. So there's like D23 and Star Wars, and then Marvel does whatever the hell they want to do whenever the hell they want to do it.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, there's plenty of other conventions that Disney is always talking at. So this one, I could see them giving a little bit, but not much. They did give a 20-minute look at Elemental, which I have to ask, just show the whole movie.
Isn't that a third of the movie?
Yeah, it's a third of the movie.
Wow.
I mean, why wouldn't you just show the movie at that point? Why are you going to show just 20 minutes?
Maybe a fifth of the movie.
Something like that. I think that was the one. I believe I saw Jeff Snyder talking about Snyder again. He was talking about this, and he said that he just put in headphones and listened to an audio book and just completely shut off the fact that 20 minutes of this movie was playing because he just did not want to bother with watching 20 minutes of a movie that he's going to watch the whole movie pretty soon anyways.
I think that's fair.
Which, I completely agree with that idea.
Why would I want to watch? Just show the whole movie. Why would I watch 20 minutes of it?
20 minutes is the actual length of a regular 30-minute TV episode without commercials, roughly.
Yeah. Give me a trailer, give me movie, don't give me anything in between.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand some of these, especially as the movie gets closer, depending on what movie it is, they may show the first 5 minutes of the movie. They may release the first 5 minutes, which those have been pretty cool sometimes. But yeah, 20 minutes.
Do we have what general reactions were from that 20 minutes? Do we know?
No, I don't know
if audiences were generally positive. I guess they've all been silenced by Pixar.
Possibly. Yeah. Disney is not a company that anyone really wants to mess with, which is fun for Ron DeSantis right now, who's officially being sued by Disney. Good luck, dude. You're screwed. Anyways, I don't know what the details of that is. I just think that's funny that Disney is suing him. So,
yeah. Side note, real quick: Disney, Google, Apple, Amazon, 4 companies who have the best legal team possible and who you don't want to legally go up against ever. Those 4 companies rule the world,
pretty much. So
probably missing a couple other companies, but just for the purpose of the conversation,
your cable and internet provider would also be up there.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. So they also showed some footage from Little Mermaid. Those of y'all who've been paying attention to the internet today, they actually released the entire Part of Their World song, sung by Halle Bailey. And it's actually not bad. I listened to it. It's not a bad rendition. She takes a few liberties with some of the notes. That's a little strange, but otherwise, I think it's a pretty solid rendition of it.
She's got to do her own take on it, and she has a fantastic singing voice, which is one of the reasons why they casted her in the role to begin with.
Yeah. Apparently, at CinemaCon though, they also screened the footage of Ursula singing "Poor Unfortunate Soul." Which, again, anyone who knows me, I like the Disney villain songs. Like, if you're going to ask me, like, what's a really good, powerful song from Lion King, give me Be Prepared. I love Circle of Life and Can You Feel the Love Tonight, Hakuna Matata, and I Can't Wait to Be King as much as the next person, but I love Be Prepared. It's such an ominous and powerful sounding song coming from a weak-ass villain. But, yeah. The Little Mermaid still doesn't look like it's underwater. Yeah. After Avatar has completely ruined us for underwater movies.
Yeah. And Aquaman, kind of, a little bit.
Yeah. I think, by the time we get this next Aquaman movie, everyone's going to be like, why? Just why are you bothering?
Yes, this Little Mermaid looks like it takes place in Otagunga.
Yeah.
We're going home!
Yeah. And then Disney also showed off trailers for some of their Fox properties, A Haunting in Venice and Next Goal Wins. Both of these look interesting. So A Haunting in Venice, unfortunately we're not doing a trailer reaction to either one of these, but A Haunting in Venice I thought was interesting because like I watched it first and then I showed it to him without letting him know what trailer he was watching. He just, it starts off looking like it's a standard horror movie that has
Tina Fey.
Well, Michelle Yeoh. It has Michelle Yeoh and Tina Fey for some reason, and Jamie Dornan. And you're watching this and you're like, okay, this is a really like weird, creepy, it looks like a seance is going on. And then there's Hercule Poirot that pops up at the very end of the trailer, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This is a Hercule Poirot movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to go back and watch Murder on the Orient Express again. Because I enjoyed Death on the Nile. I thought that was great. And this one, already trailer 1 looks fascinating. Mostly because of the tone, which is completely different than the other two, with Hercule Poirot mixed in. So I know nothing of any of the original stories. These are all like the first times I'm experiencing them is through these movies. So I know nothing about A Haunting in Venice. I don't know nothing about the original story at all. So I'm curious to see what direction it goes in, especially given the tone of the trailer that we got, which is very, I don't know. I was watching it, I was like, okay, why am I watching a trailer for the next Conjuring movie? I don't care. Yeah, I don't care about Conjuring. Like, why am I watching this? So,
and then there's Kenneth Branagh.
And then there's Kenneth Branagh on his curly mustache.
And you're like,
oh, okay.
I am a big fan of doing that in trailers. Like whenever you have a movie franchise that really is focused and centered on one particular person, for example, I know James Bond has done this as well, where the trailer would come out and like such and such is about to happen. This world organization has the keys to destruction of the entire planet. And like they show all these other scenes and all this stuff, leaving you like gripped and edge of your seat, and you're just so enthralled into it. And then at the very end, it says like, "But the only thing can stop him is one man." And then it shows like James Bond or whoever's playing James Bond at the time.
James Bond.
Excuse me, I would like a martini, shaken, not stirred, or something like that. And you're like, it's James Bond. Yeah, let's go.
He does the Bond, James Bond line.
Yeah. So I like it when trailers do that. And this was actually a really interesting trailer because of that. But at the same time, I'm like, this doesn't feel like a Hercule Poirot movie.
Can this franchise... That's my question off the back of that trailer is this franchise one that can draw people in by doing that? Like, obviously, James Bond, you do the whole trailer... especially after like Casino Royale or what have you. You do the whole trailer and then boom, you got Daniel Craig as James Bond right at the end. Everyone's like, cool, I know what movie this is. I know that character. I'm in. James Bond, sold, done. I'll be there. I know we've gotten 2 movies already with both Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile, but do we consider them successful enough and in the public zeitgeist enough to be able to show Hercule Poirot, Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot at the end, and people go, yeah, all right, I'll be there. Day one, I'm sitting in that seat at the theater. Yeah, you got me, Kenneth Branagh's curly mustache. Yeah. I don't think so. Like, I sure, because like I've seen the other 2 movies, but the general audiences, do they look at that trailer and go, oh, I know immediately what this movie is and what franchise it's a part of?
Not until you see him.
Yeah, that's my point, is when it gets to him, is that still even enough? Is his appearance at the end still even enough for general audiences to be like, I'm going to be in the theater for that. I know what franchise this is. Yes.
You know what's weird is I actually think probably the best marketing that the Hercule Poirot movies have, and this, I know this might be potentially a hot take or like a weird thing to say, but actually I feel like it makes sense logically. The best marketing that they have is the Knives Out movies. Like, I think Knives Out really has been the one that has reinvigorated the whodunit type of franchise. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of the popularity, like, I know Murder on the Orient Express came out before Knives Out, but because of Knives Out, people liking that so much, Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile, they're not that different than Knives Out or Glass Onion. They're not as fun, I would say.
Time setting is the only thing.
Yeah, different setting, but they don't have as much of like the flair and the fun as the Knives Out movies do, but they're still pretty close. I mean, Hercule Poirot is still a fun character. I love that. He's easily my favorite part of both of those movies, is just how Kenneth Branagh portrays that character.
Yeah. So
very much like, again, the Knives Out movies, the best part about those is definitely going to be Benoit Blanc. So, yeah, I think that's definitely the best selling feature for the Hercule Poirot movies. Next Goal Wins. I don't know if you watched this trailer yet.
I did not. I don't even know what this is.
It's interesting. So it's essentially Michael Fassbender is a failed alcoholic soccer player, or footballer, as they call it over there. And I guess he's being let go from his team and basically being shunned by the entire soccer football league. But he's given one last chance, and that is to go coach a terrible failing team. I think it's like in Uganda or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And anyone in the chat, feel free to correct me. My knowledge of this movie is just from what I watched the trailer earlier, so that's it. I haven't read anything since because I've been busy with other things. But yeah, so it's basically him going to coach this team, and it's one of those like the team fails, underdog story. Can he coach this team to success type of thing? So it's that. with Taika Waititi's humor involved.
Oh,
so
that's why you're mentioning it.
Jeremy here. So yeah, Taika's indie stuff is much better than his Marvel. With the aside from Thor Ragnarok, I would probably agree because Jojo Rabbit was really entertaining.
Jojo Rabbit was good.
This looks like it's going to be good.
We've only gotten I think one episode of Mandalorian that was directed by Taika. We haven't gotten Taika's Star Wars movie yet. Don't really know what it's going to look like or what it's going to entail. If it even still happens, it might get canceled at some point. Who knows?
Given the track record so far.
Yeah. So I still need to watch Hunt for the Wilder People and What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
But Jojo Rabbit, fantastic. Taika's humor is actually really good. I really do like Taika's humor. Not necessarily in everything. I don't necessarily like it in, Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah.
There's some parts of it that are good. Because that movie needs humor anyways to help carry everything. But yeah, I agree with you. The more and more I watch Thor: Love and Thunder, the more and more I'm like, this character's got cancer and we're over here making screaming goat jokes. Like, why? This doesn't make sense. It's so weird.
What We Do in the Field. Love it. Yes, give me Ted Lasso with a good underdog story, built in, and Taika's humor, and I'm sold. My only question here is, do we get an appearance of Brett Goldstein's Roy Kent in this movie?
Probably not.
Because look, there's obviously a connection already between Brett Goldstein and Taika Waititi. So I'm thinking, what if there's a possibility that, it's not necessarily set in the Ted Lasso universe. Let's just say that Roy Kent exists as an actual sports icon who can be used in a different movie.
Or he's not actually named as Roy Kent. They're on the field practicing, and then you just see Brett Goldstein just walking by like, hey, you fuckers get better.
Boy. Garth is right. He is here. He is there. He's every fucking where. Roy Kent. Roy Kent.
But yeah, that would be funny. But yeah, that trailer looks delightful. So highly recommend go watch that trailer because, I'm eager to see that.
I'm gonna check it out immediately as soon as we click off of this.
Yeah, it's good. Well, that being said, that's it for all the news stories. Again, Universal is going to be doing their CinemaCon presentation tomorrow. So we may be talking about whatever they present on Tagline next week.
If there's anything of note.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if they're just talking about Fast and Furious, then probably not.
Yeah, because I feel like especially with the latest trailer that has come out, I feel like we're pretty tapped out on anything Fast and Furious related until the movie comes out. If anything, very likely we're probably just going to get more information about Fast 11. But I don't know if they want to reveal too much before Fast 10 comes out. So,
Universal's been happening the last 2 hours while we've been doing this and getting ready for this.
Wait, Universal is going on right now? Oh, okay. The only other thing I saw, and I completely forgot to put it on here, is that they did reveal the official logo for Saw 10, which is basically just Saw X. So, I guess they have been talking about some Universal stuff.
Let's see what they dropped here.
Exorcist. They revealed the title for it, which is Exorcist Believer. So it's supposed to be, it's David Gordon Green doing Exorcist. I'm not gonna say I'm a huge David Gordon Green fan after the Halloween trilogy that he did. The first one, the 2018 Halloween, was decent, was pretty good. The other two just so bad. They dropped the trailer at CinemaCon, the trailer for The Exorcist.
That looks like Nolan presented a new Oppenheimer trailer. Okay.
So we'll get that pretty soon because it is roughly about time for another Oppenheimer trailer anyways.
Chris Meledandri from Illumination talking about their movie Migration. Again, why are we not talking about a sequel to Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
I guess this might not be the place you would normally announce it, but I feel like you just announce it. Just announce it, you know?
Apparently they showed off some musical performance from Wicked. So hopefully they showed a lot more than just the tiny little bit of Elphaba and Galinda. Like badly like colored and not brightened or color corrected at all. So
some more of that movie Strays with Will Ferrell doing the voice of a dog.
That looks funny, but
it looks funny. There's Exorcist, Trolls World 3, okay. Kung Fu Panda 4.
Interesting.
Why does Poe sound like Bowser? Weird. There's Fast and Furious. And so far it looks like that was about it. There's early footage and stunts from David Leitch directed Fall Guy, which certainly has nothing to do with the video game, right?
Video game.
I see stunts and I see Fall Guy, and I'm like, with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, that'd be weird. I would think that Fall Guys would be, if they made a movie out of it, it would be another Illumination type.
That would make sense. Yeah,
because the little beans woohoo sound they make sounds a lot like little minion type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
apparently, The Exorcist stars Leslie Odom Jr.
Ooh.
And Ellen Burstyn. Ellen Burstyn was Reagan's mother in the original. Chris McNeil. So, and I could have sworn I heard like that Linda Blair was going to have some kind of a role in it as well.
Does she want to? Does she really want to?
I mean, why not?
Might as well. Paycheck.
So, yeah, this is probably the only thing with that Strays movie is cursing dogs could get old real quick.
The trailer was funny.
The trailer was funny and cute, but yeah, I think that humor just is not going to last very long. Say like in an hour and a half movie. I think you hit like a couple of really funny jokes like in the first 30 minutes, and then the rest of the movie is just kind of rehashing the same kind of jokes just with different words.
I think you got to back it up with a story that has some heart to it, which I have a sneaking suspicion that movie is going to have a story with a little bit of heart to it that we're kind of just going to blindside us, you know?
Yeah. What's that movie? Was it Good Boys? That had Jacob Tremblay in it. Where basically, it was like three like kids, but they were walking around cussing up a storm as well. So yeah, I feel like it's the same thing. We're taking something that's small, cute, innocuous, and we're gonna make them we're gonna make them have a potty mouth, and that's funny.
We're going to strip the innocence away from something innocent, and you're going to laugh at it.
Which degenerate. I feel like is an idea that someone came up for like a YouTube video, which would be great. That's fantastic content, but I don't know if it would work as a full-fledged movie. I mean, Good Boys, I've seen it. It wasn't bad, but it also, them going around and saying the F word, just it kind of...
You know, it'd be hilarious is if they did this with puppets.
They have multiple times.
Yeah. And how many of them have been notable other than like Avenue Q?
Meet the Feebles. So Meet the Feebles was probably like the first major one that was done by Peter Jackson way back in the day.
I'm really thinking about that failure of the one that Melissa McCarthy was in.
Yeah, the one that I can never remember the title for it.
And who cares?
A good reason. Yeah, like, does it actually really matter if I remember the title? It doesn't, so... If I'm ever playing a movie trivia game and that comes up again, I'm like, I don't fucking care. And hopefully you can cuss on that show at that time, because that's going to be my answer.
Anyway, some interesting looking stuff. Again, I'm still sold on this Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah. Garth felt the need to tell us anyway.
Happy Time Murders.
Hope you're ready for that recall here in a little bit with the movie trivia hangout.
I already forgot about its name again.
Yeah, even though it's right there in the chat.
Oh, Happy Town Murders. Happy Time. I think it's Happy Time Murders, actually.
Yeah. Again, why is that important? Anyways, so yeah, so basically kind of like what I just said, nice little segue there. We are about to hop over to the CinemaFanatics Discord. So if you are a part of the Patreon on the Maverick tier, come join us over there. We got some movie trivia for you to play and hang out with and whatnot. If you're not a part of our Patreon, hop on our Patreon, join the Maverick tier, and come hang out and play some movie trivia with us. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this, so come join us for that.
You want to do movie trivia?
Do you like having fun? I like having fun. Let's go have some fun.
Do you like movies? If not, why are you here?
Yeah, I know. The Maverick tier is top fun. It's also the top tier. So
I like it.
Anyways, top fun. Yeah.
I like it.
Anyway, so that is about to happen. Marquee Friday, May 26th. We'll talk about that some more as we get closer to it because we are exactly 1 month away right now. So I don't really need to build up that much hype. Just go watch a bunch of live action Disney movie remakes, whatever. And,
if you want to.
Yeah. And then we'll tier rank them at that time.
We're going to. We're going to have to. There's several of them I haven't seen yet. So I
think there's only one other than the Peter Pan and Little Mermaid. There's only one I haven't seen yet. So I got to watch one movie. Anyway, so that should be a lot of fun. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. We don't have anything else coming up. Very likely we'll be doing a reaction to the Transformers trailer that comes out tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah,
I really do like that the tagline for this next marquee is going to be "Something's got to go in S tier, guys." Look, something's got to go in S tier.
That's the only rule for that next marquee is something has to be an S.
Actually, I already have a couple movies off the top of my head that might go there, but
I have like one or two I can think of off the top of my head that I feel like could be S tier worthy within the bubble of just ranking those movies.
I got 3 and I need to watch one of them still.
The second you bring in any other movie outside of the live action Disney remakes, though, none of those movies go S tier. So what? The Room by Tommy Wiseau? Oh, that's S tier. Put all the Disney live action movies below it.
Oh, 100%.
Anyways, so that's going to do it for the tagline tonight. Thank y'all for watching and being here. Make sure you follow us at the CinemaFanatics. That's the first time I've jacked that up. All right. I've been, ever since we changed it, I've been good. And that is the first time it just barely slipped and caught myself.
There.
Anyways, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the CinemaFanatics. If you're watching this on a replay, let us know your thoughts and opinions and everything down below in the comments. Also, while you're down there, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done that already. You can follow me personally at Robert Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Also, youtube.com/@RobertAdamsMLP. And yeah.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, you can follow me at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, as well as twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP.
Where you're going to do another 24-hour stream this next week, right?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. We'll see y'all here in a little bit. For those of y'all on the Patreon, come join us over in the Discord. Otherwise, we will see y'all tomorrow with that trailer reaction and then next week for tagline and any other things that might pop up. Anyways, y'all have a great evening. Good night.
See ya.
Bye.